Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another Starstruck showcase. So I am so excited today. I get to showcase Becca Dailey with Divine Beauty, and she'll tell you a little bit more about her business. But I was just so um, moved and excited when I got the opportunity to meet her. We actually met through a UWO entrepreneurship thing. I didn't actually meet you, but my boyfriend met you and kind of led me that direction. And then, so it was really kind of neat the way we met, and we're fairly new friends. So we just met recently, but we do very similar things within the beauty industry. And you'll hear me talk to a lot of other professionals in the industry that are hairstylists, makeup artists, and do, eyelash extensionists. And we all do similar services. But a huge thing for me is to just support all these other small businesses. And what I love is, even if we do the same type of work, there's, more than enough people to go around to service them. So that's what I love. And we kind of have the same vision with that. But I am so excited, Becca. I would love for you to, explain what you do. And I know you have some really exciting things coming up and new location and things like that. But what I am just really excited about too is that you not only open and start a whole business, but you also are going to school full time as well to be in nursing at UWO. So you've got a lot going on. And so I'm so grateful you took the time to, record this with me, and we'll obviously help you along the way with anything you need as well. But yeah, take it away. Let us know a little bit about yourself and, your new endeavors as well.
Yeah, of course. So I'm super excited too for today. So I'm the owner of Divine Beauty LLC. I started probably doing makeup about 3 years ago, and then I got into eyelash extensions about a year and a half ago. And people always ask me why I got into eyelash extensions, why I got into it, and I always tell them like the flat reason why, like, oh, I was just bored, something to do. But there's a lot of underlying reasons why I got into it, and we'll get into that later of how important those were for, I would think, both of us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm going for nursing at UW Oshkosh. The goal there is to um, continue to pursue my business. So I will expand my services doing like Botox and stuff. But I want to focus on chronic illnesses and more the mental health aspects of the beauty industry. So yeah.
Yes, I love that. So at Starstruck too, we do a little bit with wellness and skincare and stuff, but not to the extent that you'll be able to do, which I'm so excited to get to know you and be able to refer business your way for those services. Because I know a lot of my clients would love what you do and what you're going to be starting to do. So I absolutely love that. And I know when people ask, they ask you, oh, why do you do what you do? Or how'd you get started? Or did you always know you were going to be in the beauty industry or wellness industry or whatever? And for me, it's kind of a weird answer too. Like, I didn't always know that this was something, I was always interested in it, but I really didn't understand that I loved it and wanted to keep doing it until I was actually in the middle of it, and how I made people feel. But I know your story is so deep, and once we kind of, and for anybody listening in, it would, no matter what career you have, there's a reason you started that. There's a reason that you're still doing what you're doing, if you like it or not, and figuring out why that is and creating your passion around that, I think, is so important. So yeah, what stuck out to you? Like, what was the big reason why you started Divine Beauty LLC?
I think overall, the overarching like why I started it. Growing up, I always struggled with a lot of anxiety and depression, and my mom always told me to find something that would be like my world that would take my mind off of it. So I always found that beauty, like applying makeup or helping other people, would always take my mind off like some of my little struggles that I struggled with. So overall, I think that's the big reason why it's become what it's become, because it's my passion and it's really helped me and a lot of other people, not just the underlying like, oh, this is a cool job. Like, I love what I do
Mhm.
because it's made such a huge impact in my life.
Yeah, and I love that. And I feel like it makes you keep pushing on and to do what you do because of the reason why you're doing it. Um, and what I kind of want to spin our conversation in, because I think it's a topic that, and like you brought up, it's a topic that is kind of taboo, not talked about a ton. And looking at us, like I look at you and you're beautiful inside and out, and
You
you
too.
would think, and you would think like, how could you have any issues within, mental health issues or anything like that? Like, when you look at the outside, I think it's so people can put up such a front and look like they don't have a lot going on. But when, you look deeper and, the statistics are out there that there's a lot of people dealing with in some way, shape, or form, some sort of mental, you know, health issues. So yeah, I kind of want to dig a little bit deeper in that and talk about it and why it's so important to really, get our stories out there. And I'd love for you, if you're comfortable with, just kind of going in a little bit about your background in the story and what led you to, obviously, like you were talking about, to the beauty industry and wellness industry, but where did that start for you?
Yeah, of course. I've always been like super anxious as a kid. In my family, we call it our squirrel cage brain. So my dad's a lot like me, and I'm a lot like my dad. So he married my mom, and she's a psychiatric nurse practitioner. So she's basically my therapist growing up, but I never really knew it as a kid. She'd ask me how I felt while I was feeling anxious, and I was just like, I don't know, my brain just won't stop thinking. But then as I became older, she was like, oh, I think this might, like, maybe you should talk to somebody like a therapist or go get some help. And that's kind of my like miniature background in that. But so starting off when I was little, I was like super anxious, and then that grew into some eating disorders as I grew older. I struggled with anorexia when I was, I would say, like middle school through high school. And then later in life, it just spiraled out of control when I was in college. And I went on and off medications. I was on sertraline for a little bit, and it made me more anxious. So that one didn't work for me. But then I just got put on a new prescription Prozac, and that has really like leveled out and helped me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so scared to start it and like get put on something because I didn't want to not be myself. But after being on it, like I wouldn't change it for anything. So how that ties into what I do, um, yeah, it just was like an outlet for me. I just had fun doing it, like makeup. I started out doing like cool looks on Instagram, and people were like, "Oh, that's so cool! You should like make YouTube videos." Blah blah blah. And I wouldn't say I'm like I wouldn't YouTube, but I didn't really want to make a YouTube channel. So then I thought, oh, eyelash extensions are cool. I should get into that and start a business, like doing that. And at first, I thought I'd just like do my friends or do like family members, but it just kind of spiraled into something huge and awesome that's kind of like not saved me, but it definitely like helped bring down my anxiety because it was something that I knew I could do that made me happy, and I knew I was making other people happy too. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I thank you for sharing your story behind. I feel like it's a lot of times people are afraid to, but you just never know who you will impact with a story, or like that person that, really wants to start something new and fresh. And definitely, during the crazy times we're in and going through and coming out of, how, even if, that doesn't need to be a setback for you. You can move forward. You can use those, your past and how you feel, and find a good outlet to feel better. I know there's so many different things people, I mean, exercising and doing all these things. And what I love and what you said is that, you and I have similar story, but also different. And I love that. And I love being able to talk openly about all different areas of that mental health range. Like, my story started when I was young as well. Probably, I mean, younger than I probably thought, right? But when I really started noticing things was in high school, and I was put on a lot of medication, and it was perfect for me at the time. It really changed the way I went about my day to day. It saved me, at that time, and that was something awesome. And then as I, started getting older, and I was looking for a more natural route, and I was able to, slowly get off of those and kind of go a more natural route as well. But I love that there's so many different options for so many people. And I think the first thing when it comes to all this is just being able to reach out, like you had the great support system at home, being able to reach out to, your family and have resources that they're, giving you. And not everybody has that. And I think that's where it gets tricky, is, finding somewhere to go and talk to, and finding what works best for you. And not everybody's plan is the same. And, and that's what I really love. And I love your story about that. But yeah, going back to, the beauty kind of realm of things. And I just love that you kind of started from, working out of your basement. Am I correct?
It was actually out of my parents' house. And then,
Parents' basement. Yes.
yeah, so it was out of my parents' house in my bedroom, like right next to my bed. So I'd wake up and I'd work right where I was sleeping. But then I moved into an apartment and yeah, I started working out of the basement here. And then now I moved into Sublime Hair Studio as an independent contractor. So I'll be starting there as soon as we can work again.
Woohoo, that's so exciting. And I think that's where, and I know I've had this conversation with my boyfriend too, and people don't always see
I've
where
been,
you've been
yeah.
and where you've come from, I guess. And it goes for business, it goes for personal life, and they see you right now successful and happy, and that's how they portray things. And then it's like, okay, well, look back at all these years of what took me to get to this point. So I think that's so important when people listen to your story or my story or whoever, is realizing that you have a story, and
Mhm.
everybody does, and it's okay, and you can keep pushing through to get to where you want to be. And I know there's just going to be so many greater, bigger things that come from you too, in your space,
Thanks.
which
Yeah.
is, I know I'm so excited for you. And I think the more we can with everything going on, the more we can push each other through
Yeah.
these crazy times. And there's so many people that it really hurts me, because it's like there's so many people, so scared, and businesses that, what I love about you, I think, is that there's so many businesses right now that are worried about going under, or worried about like doing certain things. And my favorite thing was, you posted the other day through all this reason that you're opening your studio, like you had this all planned, and it's not going to stop you. And I
No.
think that's what will make you successful no matter what. Is it doesn't matter what's happening in the world or what's going on, is you're going to keep pushing through, and you have through your whole life. So why would that stop you? And that's, I have a similar mindset with that. And people keep saying, oh, is everything going to be okay and whatever. And you just have to keep pushing through, and we've made it this far, so why would we stop? um, which I love. But yeah, so um, what now currently, if you want to just quick give us a brief summary on what you currently offer in your studio, that would be fantastic.
So currently I offer makeup application for weddings, prom, any special event really. I do airbrush, and then I also offer eyelash extensions. So yeah, everybody basically has heard of eyelash extensions. I think it's really been hyped up over the last couple of years. So right now that's what I'm doing. And then hopefully as I earn more certifications and when I get my nursing degree, I will offer Botox and other like non-invasive aesthetic procedures. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So almost kind of like a Medi spa.
Yeah, my goal is to open a Medi Spa.
Yes, awesome. I love that. And I don't have that background, so
Oh yeah.
it's nice to know
I
somebody
was
that
like medical field, but I was like, Botox would be fun, you know. And it's not like the stereotypical nursing, but it's super cool, and you can help a lot of people with it.
yeah, and I
Mhm.
think there's so much to it that people don't know, like the ins and outs of it, which is
Mhm.
cool. We'll have to talk, as you get certified, we'll talk another time about all of that too. But I greatly appreciate your time and you sharing your story, because I think that there are so many people out there that are afraid to start something new, or are hesitant, and they make their story define who they are, and that
Yeah.
they can't change, and
Mhm.
um, so I love that. And I think the more we can share what we do, and know that there's different options for people, and there's not a right or wrong way of you know going through the process and all of that. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we wrap her up?
Yeah, I was actually thinking last night. I just wanted to like, I think it's important to tell people that like it's not there's no right way to do something. Like you're on natural herbs, but you were on medication before, and I'm on medication. And I tried natural things before, and it just didn't work for me. So I think
Yep.
it's you would tell people that it's okay to get help, even though it's scary. Like there's so many people that are walking next to you each day that struggle with things similar to you, but we're also scared of saying it. That you're like, oh my God, I don't want to go to the doctor. They're going to judge me or something. Or I'm scared of taking medication because it could make me feel like a zombie. So I think it's important to tell people that like if you're on the right medication, you're not going to feel like a zombie. You're going to be yourself. But
Mhm.
not like a different version, just more relaxed or less depressed or whatever. And then just that there's no right way. So I feel like it's important to know that. So yeah.
Yeah, and I truly believe that medication saved my life, at the time that I needed it. And I needed something that worked quickly and fast. And when I'm talking about going a more natural route, it took me years.
Yeah. And some people don't.
That years. So it was not a quick fix. And I think that's where sometimes you need it,
Mhm.
that quick fix, and I did. And I really truly believe it saved my life.
Yeah.
But, as I was getting older, I'm like, what will it hurt if I just try this? And it might take me a while. But
Mhm.
yeah, and I love that there's different options in that it doesn't have to be, and this is for like anything in life. Like there's no right or wrong way.
It's like your way, whatever works best for you. We're all like genetically born different. So
Yes, yes. And now you see it a lot with even outside of this, like political or, um, I don't know, just people have so many differences and they're so, like, I love it when people stick up for what they believe in, don't get me wrong. But then it's also like, can we have a conversation about, um, like, you know, both sides of the story, or, what you believe and what I believe, and respect to,
sure.
respect each other. And that's what I love. And I think that, yeah, it's so important to know that there's not a right or wrong way. And I think the best thing that anybody can do is just reach out and find resources and, help when it comes to that. And there are so many things. And I mean, right now, when I post this, and I'm sure you feel the same way, like if anybody use us and, message us or anything, and we can try to help and send you in a, direction, or, whatever that looks like. I'm obviously not in the wellness
Yeah.
field or anything like that, but I mean, even if you need somebody to talk to, like that's what this is about. And that's why I love hearing people and like your story, and finding those similarities and being
Yeah.
able to really relate and know that you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what,
Is important.
yeah.
I feel like it's also like important too that we're not that we're labeled as successful, but we have, I don't know if you can relate, but my whole childhood people are like, oh, you're smart, like you're funny, you're pretty, like nothing's wrong with you, you know.
Mhm.
Important to like share that, yeah, on the outside we might look okay, but on the inside sometimes we're really struggling, and it's okay if you're in that same position, and nobody's going to be like, well, you can't have it because you have a perfect life, because I definitely didn't, but some people might, might not have as many struggles as I did or didn't have. So I think that's important to really just,
Yeah.
highlight.
Yeah. And no, I think the other thing too, and as I grew up, your life seems perfect, quote unquote. Um, but it doesn't matter what struggles you go through. It, it's your story, it's your struggles, and no struggle. How do I want to say it? It doesn't matter how big it is, how big of an issue it is, or oh, somebody could have it worse, or whatever. And I always felt, and I don't know if you can relate to this, but I always felt guilty, I guess,
Yeah.
when I felt the way I did. And I knew that, like, Jeanette, like,
Like
my
there's
levels, what do I want to say? My,
no balance in your brain.
yeah,
Like,
thank you, the chemical balance.
yeah.
I had an imbalance there, and I knew that it was not my fault. And it just, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But I felt so guilty because I'm like, my life is not bad,
Yeah. I mean,
and
yeah. I was like, my parents are together. My siblings are alive,
yes, and you hear these horrible, these stories of people going through all these things, and but then you hear people, that even though they're going through all these things in their life, that they stay positive, and you're like, how can they be doing that? But I think, it's, yeah, it's crazy. But I love that you brought that up. That's,
I always say that my mom was like my lifesaver. Like if I didn't have my mom, I like honestly, I don't know if I'd, not that I wouldn't be alive, but I would not be happy. Because,
yeah,
and I feel like I'm religious and I'm like, oh, God put my mom in my life because he knew I needed her. And same with my dad.
yeah, I love that. Yeah, and I think that's something too. I don't want to go. That's a whole nother topic too, controversial. But since we're already on these controversial topics, but I do feel like that's something that I gained closer to, and, and not in high school. It just was recently within the past few years that I really grew a different relationship with my religion and being able to have that. And that's, yeah, I think that is a key part.
Nothing wrong religion. It's just whatever.
Whatever you believe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think
maybe that there's something else higher.
Yeah.
I think that
whatever makes you happy and gives you faith.
yeah.
I feel like.
Yes, I love that. Yeah. Yes, yes. Well, I love this. Such a good. I could talk to you all day. So.
You did the other time.
I know this is awesome. So, well, I will. We'll kind of leave it at that. We don't want to
go
too much, but I do want to end with a question that I end all of my talks with, and it's not related to what we were talking about, but I thought it's a fun way to end it and kind of wrap it all up. So, if you were on a deserted island with or without electricity, your choice, what would be the one beauty product you could not live without?
Okay, I love all of the beauty products, but I would say face wash because at the end of the day, it's my favorite thing to do. And I could not imagine being on a sweaty island and not washing my face because that would be kind of nasty. So,
oh my gosh, I love it.
You're
I
on.
love it. That's awesome. I love hearing everybody's responses. And I'm like, I need to have a better relationship with skincare for myself. I'm learning. And I think as I learn and educate myself, I'm getting a better relationship with it. And just knowing what it can do to not do those things is like crazy. And you got to practice what you preach.
True.
Is what I got to do. So I do. I wash my face twice a day. But all the other like skincare treatments, like I want to do them, but it's like there's so many and it's so overwhelming. So I need to find my.
Yeah. Simple's better, I think. Just like one or two things. I do a face wash and a moisturizer and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Work best just because the other ones like clog my skin,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I keep it pretty basic, but I like to try new things, but I don't want it to be like too overwhelming. So I usually try to try too much at once.
Like, oh my God, I'm going to go.
Which is the opposite of what I do with my clients. I usually tell my clients, I'm like, just try like 2 or 3 things and we'll go from there. And I don't do the same thing for myself. So I need to start doing that.
What's your object?
For mine, oh my gosh. I know I ask everybody else and now I think of mine.
Oh, turn it on you.
I would say probably, like, I think of 2 things right off the bat, and one of them would be like a lip gloss or a lipstick or like a chapstick of some sort because I don't like my lips being dry. Mm-hmm. And I like them to look good. So I'd probably do like a moisture-rich lipstick or something like that. Or if I could maybe smuggle one other thing, it would probably be waterproof or mascara or like water-resistant or waterproof mascara so I could go swimming and still look good.
You look like a raccoon.
Not look like a raccoon, yeah.
Funny.
But that would probably be that. I mean, I have a lot of things. Oh, see, now I'm just adding things on. Or my custom blend foundation. I do like that too.
Do you need foundation though if nobody's by you?
But it has sunscreen in it.
Okay, then you need it.
Like how I'm like adding up. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, it has that. Yeah, I don't know. Like those would be like the 3 things. Like if I just could pack a small makeup bag, those would be the 3 things.
Well, you only get one.
I know. See, now I'm not going by my rules. This was what happens. I tell my clients something and I don't obey by them. And then I have you crushes. Yeah. Actually, to be honest, I think it might be my foundation, my custom blend foundation, because it's got the sunscreen in there and it's got skincare ingredients in to help my skin. I think that would be it.
We found the answer.
I think that's it. That's what I would grab.
Good one.
Because then my skin will look better and eventually I won't need it and then I can just use it for sunscreen.
True.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, not better, but enhanced.
Yes. I'm working. I mean, my skin does pretty good, but a lot of it, I would say 100, if my skin's like acting up, it's because of my diet and what I'm eating.
Yeah, same. Chocolate.
So that's a whole nother topic. We'll have to come on another time and
I know
talk about that.
Very shorter.
familiar.
Hates
Yes,
us.
I love it. But thank you again, and you guys make sure to check out Becca in her new studio once we're all back and open. And this may air once we're already open, so we'll see how that comes out, depending on how long we're closed. But yeah, check her out, Divine Beauty LLC. Like, can you say where you are on social media, your website or Facebook or whatever that looks like?
So my website is www.divinebeautydb.com, and then my Instagrams are divine.beauty.extensions, and then divine.beauty.makeup, and then my Facebook page is just Divine Beauty LLC. And then you can reach me if you want to text me about something or a question, either through my website or my phone number is 920-420-8778. So yeah.
Perfect. And I will add all the info on the pages too, so you guys can have that. But thank you again, Becca. And it was so nice
I agree.
chatting with you. And I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we did. And we will see you next time.
Yeah, for sure.